It's a pleasure to talk to you about this film.
Thanks.
I enjoyed every minute of it because I think it's so accessible to its audience. It kind of transforms the jargon of science and NASA into something very direct with the audience. Did you feel that when you were
Yes.
reading the script?
I did, yeah. It kind of, I guess it didn't get too kind of involved with too much technicality and too much kind of, what you kind of maybe associate with space films can get a little bit heavy and a bit like you think it's the end of the world, and that's probably quite good. But this kind of had a humour and it had a lightness of touch, and where it kind of explained to an audience or invited an audience in to see how it really felt, and I think you felt as though you were there with Matt Damon's character Mark Watney. You could identify with him, and it made it all make sense. You know, you know, our understanding of what is around us, the planets. You know, anything is fascinating. You know, any planet that's close, and this is the next one, Mars is fascinating because we don't really understand it, and this brought that home. It made us feel as though we were there, and we did understand it a little bit more.
I agree. I felt exactly like I was there, and the characters were so relatable. And yours has, a lot of responsibilities. How do you research someone with that kind of decision making at that level, especially in an association that is as secretive to us as NASA?
Yes, I guess that's the case. I mean, he was obviously people for many years of study and research and hard work, and it's for us to be able to kind of capture that, and we tried to capture the spirit of what these people were, rather than to learn that amount of information would have been impossible. But we just got to make that convincing, and but working with Ridley Scott, his understanding of these kind of things about space, he's obviously studied it very intensely, and that kind of rubbed off on us, and we kind of we created an environment and an atmosphere which was very kind of focused but very relaxed, because he cast the people that he wanted, so he knew what they could do, and that's what we did. But in terms of research, I mean, for myself, I read the script and I listened to what Ridley had to say, but I didn't go to any space stations and stuff like that or have anybody in mind. It's just a man who was very principled and very decisive about what he wanted, and that was the main thing for me.
Absolutely, and it's a movie a lot about the human element and the human relations and how these affect the choices that they make. It was quite theatrical at some points as well. I mean, because those microcosms that you guys had as actors, right?
Yes, we're all kind of in different worlds. Literally, we're all. I mean, it was all shot like as three films really. We were on Earth. Then there were the people in orbit, in the spacecraft, and then Mark Watney was on Mars, and so they were all these microcosms of different, situations, and that kind of thing that I think is really interesting is people trying to communicate between these three sort of scenarios, and how difficult it is just to communicate, and the little conflicts and the little battles that were going on. It is very much about humankind. I think that's what Ridley brought to it, not so much even though it looked great and the technical side was great, it's the kind of human aspect of it which is always fascinating.